Okay. Okay. How's it going, CrunchTime? Welcome back to another episode of that Jsqwagger CrunchTime. Hey, Jsqwagger podcast. You feel me? We outside with it. I'm outside with it today. I decided that I don't know, doing the podcast inside my apartment is cool. I love doing it. But I don't know. I feel more at peace and just connected with my thoughts and feelings doing it outside. Just a lot more peaceful. And so I plan now that every time I do a podcast to be at a different part. Today we're at a rose garden with no roses. It's not rose season, so. But maybe by the time it's rose season, I'll do another episode here. That way you guys can see the beautiful roses. But without further ado, let's get into today's topics. Again, I have them written down. So today's topics are new habits, working towards the future, and letting go of the past. Now, if you're new to the podcast, Jsqwagger, my podcasts are they are like, instead of writing in a journal, which I write in a journal as well, but instead of writing in a journal about, the thoughts that I've been having, the things that I want to work towards, the things that I've been working on to kind of reflect back on it, I do these podcasts to be able to share it with the world, because I think that a lot of the stuff that I deal with and do are very relatable, and I feel like the reason why I'm here is because I've surrounded myself by people who can also relate to what I've been going through, and they also share their experiences, which has helped me a lot. And so I want to be able to do that for y'all. I gotta make sure that this stays on. Tight beat. But yeah, so that's what these podcasts are. If you enjoy them, make sure to subscribe. My pants is dirty, but don't worry about that. Pants ain't always dirty. I also do gaming videos, so if you're interested in watching my gaming videos, subscribe to that. I stream on Twitch. I haven't been over there for about 2 weeks. Schedule been a little bit busy, but go ahead and follow my Twitch as well. And then yeah, let's get started. So I think the first thing I want to get on is new habits. The new habits that I've had since the last podcast, which was I believe the first week of January. Some things that have changed, actually. Let me get into some things that have changed. Some things that have changed is I'm 20 now. Bit 20. You know what I'm saying? So, 20 is really just like a peak age. You know what I'm saying? I feel good. I feel like I have the entire world ahead of me at 20 years old. I feel like I could do a lot now. Which I definitely plan to. But I am 20 now. I am more focused on short-term goals and really long-term goals, if that makes any sense. I'm more focused on kind of next month goals and 5 years from now goals, instead of being focused on next year goals or where I want to be at. Because on my last podcast I said, where do I want to be in 5 years? So I'm focusing more on those kind of goals, because I feel like I've been so wrapped up in being okay, by 30 I want to be able to do this and this, and then by 35 I want to be able to do this and this. But then I never make a short-term plan to even get there. So I'm more focused on the long term. I'm okay, I want to be here, but the steps to get there are nowhere to be seen. I don't know how to do it. And so I've been focusing a lot more on, or I'm trying my best to focus on short-term goals. This sun hitting though. I like that though. Because it was just sprinkling a little bit before I did this. And so, so I've been focusing more on short-term and super long-term goals to just help me throughout my 20s and my life. I've been doing this thing where I grab my journal, and before every night I will title that entry Random Thoughts, and I will just write down whatever random thoughts are in my head. And I do this to just look back and see kind of where my head is at and where my feelings are at, just to see because as I go throughout my day, I think a lot, and I'm constantly in my head kind of just thinking about what's next, what can I do next, where can I be next. And I never kind of get to a point where I sit down and reflect on all those thoughts. And so me writing down all those random thoughts in my journal, I pray that, by the end of the month, I want to be able to look over it, see what my thoughts were throughout the month, and just kind of see where my headspace is at, where my energy is at, where my spirit is at, to kind of carry on all the good things and all the positive things and all the things that are conducive into the next month. And so I've been doing that as well. I have I've been taking a lot of time to kind of reflect on how I react to things. I'm a very instant reactive person, just because that's how I feel like I surrounded myself by people that were kind of like that. Like bro, I grew up with all women. No offense, bro, but y'all be reactive. Like low key though. Like y'all gotta admit, like y'all be a little bit reactive. You know what I'm saying? Like instantly. And so I kind of just not that it's a bad thing. Don't think I'm saying that's a bad thing. But I realized that I let my feelings speak for themselves instead of letting kind of no, that's not the right way to say it. I speak with feelings is what I'm trying to say. Like in certain situations, I will speak with my feelings instead of slowing my mind down and truly viewing the situation and kind of thinking more productively. Because, feelings and depending on the feelings, but feelings and productivity do not really go hand in hand depending on the feelings. If I'm angry at something or angry at someone, I will react very instantly, and I will, everyone has said this. It's just saying, say some things that you regret. And it's not usually that I say some things that I regret. It's that a lot of the times the point I'm trying to get across, I'm truly not able to get across because of my feelings. And then I get even more angry when the person I'm talking to doesn't really understand what I'm saying, even though I feel like I'm trying my best, but I'm trying my best with feelings attached to it. And so I've been trying my best to be able to stop talking with feelings. And the way I've been doing this is I've kind of just stopped talking. To be fair, I've kind of just stopped talking. I've kind of just slowed my mind down a little bit and not been thinking as much. The music I listen to, I don't really listen to a lot of I don't really listen to any rap anymore or any songs that are attached to feelings, because I feel like as I crowd my mind more with thoughts and words, it's harder to be able to pinpoint what thoughts and words that I want to portray at certain points. And so I've been listening to a lot of meditation music and music that have like the 400 hertz. Is that what it's called? Those type of music. I really love listening to that type of music because I feel like it's definitely like a spirit feeder. It makes my spirit feel very, very good. But it also just allows me to, my thoughts kind of flow. Instead of my thoughts being more jumbled, anytime I listen to meditation music, I see my thoughts kind of flowing. And so for me to get to a point where I'm not speaking with feelings, I've stopped listening to rap music, started listening to more meditation music. I've kind of stopped talking and stopped, because I realized that like as I react to things and as I talk, I can try my best to react in a way that is more positive than the last time, but it's still very much reactive. And so I've kind of just stopped talking. In terms of certain situations, I will just pause myself for a little bit and just think over what I want to say before I say it. And so that has definitely helped. I'm trying to think any more new habits. I've been eating a lot better. I've gotten rid of meat for right now. I'm doing a little bit of I'm trying to get towards fasting for Jesus, and I want to try my best to be able to do that. And so right now I'm starting with meat. I want to be able to sacrifice things that I feel like I enjoy doing or eating, because I feel like I've sacrificed a lot and been like, you know what, God, I will give this to you. But it's all just been things that I don't really want. So it's not like it's been very hard to give them up. And so I want to be able to just sacrifice things that I like doing or I like eating. So for the past month, those are things that I've been working on to help myself. Those are some of the new habits that I have put on my kind of timeline to be able to help throughout myself. I'm trying to think of even smaller habits, because it's, to me, I didn't realize that it really is the smaller habits that build up to the bigger ones. I've also been, because I'm a very quiet person. I'm a very quiet person. And I don't really talk a lot. I don't talk to anybody at my job. I don't really socialize. Like I don't really go to like parties or get-togethers or restaurants and stuff like that. I'm a huge introvert. I'm like to be fair, if you know me, I'm like the biggest extroverted introvert you'll ever meet. But I've been trying my best not to talk to other people a lot more, only because I just know that that's truly just not who I am as a person. But I've been trying to throw in like a few compliments. I've been trying to throw in like a few compliments to people if I see them walking by, or just ask people, how their day's going. And truly, it just helps feed my soul. It truly does, and that's really what I'm trying to get to in life, is to just kind of allow my soul to take over my actions and my thoughts. I've truly let this world kind of take over my actions and my thoughts, and I've let my brain take over my actions and my thoughts a lot of the times. But as I get closer to allowing my soul to do that, I stop worrying. I stop being anxious. I stop kind of caring what other people think. I start being able to again pinpoint my thoughts and ideas to be able to portray them a lot better. And I just overall feel like I'm getting to the person who I've kind of always tried to work towards, just didn't know how. And I'm taking the little steps to get to the leaps. I'm taking the little steps to get to the leaps. And to be fair, like even doing this, if you would ask me to do this a year ago, or if I would have thought to myself to do this a year ago, I would not be out here. I really would not be out here. And so that's again what the podcasts are for. Just progress. I pray that I can continue to see progress, not only in my life, but to be able to have people watch my progress and have people understand kind of the message that I'm trying to portray and kind of the things that I'm doing to maybe, implement that in your own life. And so the next point, which kind of goes into the new habits, is working towards the future. These new habits for myself aren't for no reason. I obviously want these habits to continue in my future. And like I said, I'm working more towards like the long-term and future goals, but I realize that the person I want to become in life, whether it's how I want to think, whether it's how I want my spirit to feel, whether it's who I want to surround myself with, whether it's what career I want to get, who I want to listen to, what music I want to listen to, what habits I want to have, I realize that I gotta make that person. I realize that I gotta be that person now. There's no way in heck that I'm gonna be like, okay, I want to be, because this is my goal. These are kind of my goals. I want to be 170, have a great job with an amazing family who is able to learn from me. I want to be able to kind of stop being so distracted with life and spend more time with family and friends. And I want to be able to just have a whole bunch of wisdom and knowledge. And then go out and be like, all right, I'm going to play games. I'm going to listen to music that doesn't really help me. I'm not really going to write in my journal. Working out, yeah, I'm too tired to work out. I'll leave that for my future me. Like, I realized that, like, I was doing that this entire time. Like, I've always been like, okay, I'm going to get there when I get there. Instead of, I'm pretty sure I said this in my last podcast, but instead of being like, I need to start building the foundation now. When people say that, like, you can't build a house without a foundation, bro, I never really understood that until I tried to build a house without a foundation. And so until I tried to truly be that person right now, because I know the world is so instant with everything, with, social media makes the world feel so instant because you don't see the behind the scenes. And so I tried to do everything so instant, and it all came crumbling because there was just no foundation. And so now working towards the future is I want to be able to build that foundation. One of the biggest things that I'm working on right now is I feel like I want to just learn. I've gotten to a point in life where I'm 20 years old, and I know people who are around my age. I know people who are actually like a little bit older than me who think that they just have it all figured out, or think that they can do whatever and still get to where they want to get to in life. And it's like, I don't know, I don't have that same kind of mindset. I'm truly looking in life to look at others who are older than me, who are kind of more experienced in certain aspects in life, to just learn from them. I've been, like, growing up, I've been a very, like, prideful teenager and being like, all right, I've went through this much at 16 or at this much at 15, I know it all. Like, you can't tell me anything. You haven't been what I've been through. And so, like, I can do whatever, basically. Until I realized, 5 years later that, like, okay, well, I'm not where I wanted to be, at 15, where I thought I was going to be at 20. Maybe I should start listening. And so as I start listening, instead of, as I stop talking and start listening and truly paying attention, I realized that, like, I got to stop saying like, but I realized that people have a lot of wisdom. People truly do have a lot of wisdom that that I never would have expected. And so I truly just try to take the best opportunities I can in listening to people, just in the smallest. It can even be in like the smallest things too. I wanna give an example, but I can't off the rip. Or no, even just like I said, complimenting people's glasses, or like, let's say they have a watch or a bracelet. Even just doing that small thing, I feel like truly helps me get to where I want to get to in life, and get to working on my future and becoming the person who I want to be in life. Again, working towards the future for me is it's going to be, for me, my 20s to like 23, maybe 22. I want to do a lot of learning. I want to do a lot of exploring of the world and exploring of people and cultures. But I want to do a lot of learning because I know that I fear the biggest thing that I fear is going into the future, wanting to have a family or wanting to have kids and not being able to teach them anything. Like, if I took what I knew now and I made myself like 35 years old, and my kid walked up to me and was like, "What can you teach me?" Like, I could teach you how to make like eggs, like some pancakes, maybe some waffles, some crepes, maybe no. Some birria. I could teach you how to make some birria. But like, truthfully, I don't think I could teach them the necessary things to get them through life successfully, and to get them through life. I truly don't think I can. And I don't expect myself to at 20 years old, but I just realized that to be able to do that in the future, I gotta work towards the future. I don't have to live, because I thought living in the present literally just meant, okay, I'm gonna go throughout today and just be as present as possible, and then just by the end of the day, tomorrow will come. But I realized that if I want the future that I want, I gotta work towards it. And that does not just mean like job wise. Like, there's a lot of things that I do now that I can't stand doing, bro. But I know it's gonna help me. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's gonna help me. I don't like doing it, don't get me wrong, but I absolutely know it's gonna help me. And I'm starting to do like things that before I didn't really like doing, that now it just is very second nature to me. Like reading the Bible. I'm kind of switching over, but my mindset on the Bible is that it was, when I first started reading the Bible, I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna improve my life. But as I started reading it, I was like, bro, this is so boring. In my head, I'm like, bro, reading this I don't understand what they're saying. I'm not getting the type of verbiage. Their verbiage is completely different than the way we talk now. Like, this is boring. But then I kind of switched my mindset and being like, okay, well, am I reading this to have fun, or am I reading this to learn and take information from it to be able to apply to my own life? And so that's just an example of me doing something that, I knew was going to help improve my life, but I didn't like doing it. And now I've gotten to a point where I truly just, I guess, changing my perspective on things has helped a lot. And again, just working towards my future, just changing my perspective, because I know I was a very prideful teenager, but I know that I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? As teenagers of Gen Z and this new generation, what is it? Generation Alpha, Omega, something like that. We are very prideful, but I know social media has a lot to do with that. We think that what's portrayed on social media is that confidence and pride kind of go hand to hand. They don't say that, but what's portrayed on social media is that confidence and pride go hand to hand. You gotta dress the best to get the best. You gotta act the best, walk the best, talk the best. You gotta look the best. You gotta be the best, work the hardest to get the best. And it's like, bro, that's not it, bro. I tried it multiple times for the last like 3 years, and it don't get me nowhere. But and I was just thinking about this. That's what a point I wanted to do. But I realized that on top of working towards the future, that the goals that I had set for myself weren't even really goals that like I wanted in the future. And the only way I can explain this is when it comes to materialistic things, I realized that like as I buy more materialistic things, I start to want more. As I buy these new pair of $200 Jordans, now I got like 5 pairs of $200 Jordans, but now I want the $400 ones, because I can't be rocking $200 Jordans and then $50 shoes. You know what I'm saying? I always got to go up. But to be honest, that's just what social media portrays, is that you always have to do more and get the next best thing. Not even just social media, but like ads and stuff. Like I'm a big Apple fan, and don't get me wrong, I do this. I do. I definitely buy, or I definitely want the next biggest thing when it comes to the Apple thing, because they just portray it in a way that it's like so much more awesome and so much better than the one before. But then you get into that loop. Of like, okay, well, this one came out, now I want the next one the year later, because it just looks so much better and so much cooler. But I've realized that I do that with so many things in life, and you get prideful. You do get prideful. You get very prideful. Confidence and pride in this generation it goes hand in hand for some reason. But as I start to realize that, like, I'm confident within myself and my own ability to do things. Like, I don't look at other people and I'm like, okay, well, I can do more than them. I kind of look at myself and I'm like, okay, well, I can do more than I was able to do yesterday. I can do more than I was able to do a week before. I can learn more or act better in certain things, or speak better than I was able to do a month before. And so I kind of just stopped comparing myself to help me in the future, because I didn't want to get to a point where I'm looking at myself at 25 and I'm looking at all these, because you can see like a lot of artists now are like 12 years old. There's some 12-year-old, ain't there like a 7-year-old artist or 6-year-old artist or something like that? They can't even read. But I don't want to be at that age and start comparing myself and be like, okay, well, all these artists at 25, all these actors at 25, they were doing this, and they were living this kind of life. Like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm living my own life. I'm not trying to compare myself to anybody else. I just want to be able to better myself for my future. And so those are things that I've kind of changed my attitude and perspective on to help me towards my my future. And then the last thing on today's agenda is letting go of the past. I cannot tell y'all how hard that is for me, because and I don't remember the specific quote, but it said something like, to be the future you got to get rid of the old you. And I sat on that and I thought about it, and I was like, bro, that is just so much bigger than I thought the initial phrase was. Because that just means, like I said in my last episode, that really means a lot of sacrifices, a lot of habits, bro. A lot of habits I got to get rid of. A lot of thoughts I got to get rid of. A lot of memories I got to stop dwelling so much on. A lot of memories that I got to stop, attaching feelings to. A lot of people that I got to just kind of let go and let, slide out of my life. A lot of people that I have to stop pleasing. And it's hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It is very hard. And that's just because it's like, I think for me, and I want to be able to say this in the best way I can, so that people can understand where I'm coming from. To me, where I'm at now in life isn't where I thought I was going to be in life. Growing up, I put so much on where I wanted to be in life, and because I'm not there, not saying I'm at a bad place in my life, but because I'm not there, it hurts to look back and be like, okay, well, that kid is going to have to go through all of this just to get here. I think that, to me, putting myself back in the past, which is something that I'm trying to work on, but putting myself back in the past just to think about how, I have to go through all that I went through just to get where I'm at now, which ain't even where I wanted to be, or ain't even where I thought I was going to be. Going through all that, it's very hard for me to let go. It's very... my fault, y'all. Bro, the wind just freaking blew my camera off, and dang near broke the lens. I'm not even lying to y'all. So let me wrap this up because it's about to start sprinkling, and I gotta see if my camera's broke. Alright, so what I was saying before that tragic struck was that it's hard for me to realize that where I wanted to be at life is completely different than than where I thought it was going to be. And it's hard for me to go throughout life not dwelling on the past and kind of letting go of it. And what I mean by letting go of the past, for me at least, is I think about my past with feelings. I do. I look at my past and instead of just thinking about it while being present, I truly put myself in the past. I truly put myself in the moment and I start having feelings attached to it. And for me, it's very, very hard for me not to do that. Only, like I said, simply just because of the differences in who I am now compared to who I was in the past. It's hard for me to look back at the past and be like, like I truly did that and that was truly me, just because of how different I am and just because of how different I think. And maybe that's how it is growing up. I don't know. I'm only 20 years old, so I can't sit here and say that that's just how it is, but I would love to hear from y'all, to see, just any similarities that y'all have with anything that I go through, or anything that, anywhere I'm trying to get to in life, just to let me know, like, one, are these podcasts helping you? Are you able to learn something? But two, just like, do y'all relate? I really want to know if you guys relate, because I'm trying to help, as many people as I can. With letting go of the past, I know that there are certain, like I said, habits, people, thoughts that I got to let go of, but it's hard. It is really hard to. And I want to, but I don't want to enough. And so I want to get to a point where I really, really want to enough to be able to do it. And I really, really want to, but like a part of me doesn't want to. When you want to do something, but there's that kid in you that's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. That's kind of how I feel about letting go of the past. Only because I think the biggest thing for me is going through so much, being a kind person hurts to kind of let that go. It hurts to not prove people wrong. It hurts to put my pride aside. But I realize that that's just what I got to do. And it's getting windy, so I got to wrap this up, bro. It does hurt to put pride aside and kind of just to allow people and yourself to kind of to live your own life and to truly just go through the path that you are meant to go through. And I want to be able to, maybe not my next podcast, but whenever I kind of start to, and maybe that can just be like a regular thing on the podcast, is how I'm figuring out how to let go of the past. That'll just be a regular thing on these podcasts. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. My camera is unfortunately cracked in one of the areas towards the end. My camera is broken, but it still works. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys like the outside more. I really enjoy the outside more, especially when the sun hit. I really enjoy the outside more. I'm gonna start doing podcasts. I'm going to start uploading podcasts once a month, by the way. So if you're wondering, it'll probably be a once a month thing for right now. But maybe, prayerfully, it'll get to like 2-3 episodes. I want to do podcast. Now I'm getting to a point in my life. You know what? I'm going to save that. I'm saving that. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. After every episode, we do a little prayer. So, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Oh, Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for allowing me to come out today to be able to help portray a message that people are able to watch and understand and implement in their own life. I thank you for allowing me to be at this point in my life where I feel as if I have a gift, or I have wisdom to be shared, to be able to just help people get closer to you and improve their life so they can truly go down the path of life that you need them to. I ask that you touch everybody who is watching this today with some of your grace and your glory. I want to thank you, and in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys later. Peace.